Welcome to the Blind Justice Podcast, where you discover the insider secrets of injury and accident cases, and all of your law questions get answered. Now, here's your host, Chicago injury lawyer, Scott DeSalvo.
Woohoo!
Hey, you got a Chicago car crash question? I got a Chicago car crash answer.
It's the Chicago way.
That was my radio guy voice.
I like it. Do the whole show in that.
I just felt like there should be like lightning and thunder. And then like a
ooh, yeah.
WKXY fake radio call sign.
We're the god of all other podcasts, making lightning flash and the thunder blah, 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 blah.
100%. Yeah, we should do a fake radio show.
Yeah, that'd be
100%.
cool. Yeah, I would like that. Where I'm the lawyer and you're the comedic
and you
relief.
just bluster.
Yeah.
You just bluster.
Bluster? I don't bluster.
What lawyers do. No, I'm saying you would have to bluster if you were going to be the fake lawyer.
Wait, what does bluster mean?
It just means kind of BS.
Okay. I was thinking like you were like stopped up like...
Yeah, no, that's congested. But bluster is like being puffed up and talking a lot to like shut people down.
Schmarmy,
but you don't really know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And
I do that all the time.
no, you don't. You're super honest and nice.
I am. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Scott.
That is my co-host, Amelia Finefrock.
Hi, guys.
As always. And we're continuing in our epic series of answering injury questions that people just like you have. So if you have a question you'd like answered privately or on the podcast, same thing. Call 888-HURT-318. It's a toll-free 24/7, 365 phone line, so somebody will always pick up night or day. And if I'm not around, they'll the way it works is if I'm not around to answer your question or get the call transferred, they email and text me. So
nice.
Yeah, it's great.
That's so great.
Yeah, and I usually am able to get back to people pretty quickly. So Amelia, would you like to take it away? This is
yeah.
It sounds like it's a Chicago car crash question. Take it away.
Yep, you got it. I was in my girlfriend's car and a guy pulled out of a parking spot and ran right into us. It was a pretty big crash and it was not my girlfriend's fault at all. But I twisted my knee real bad and had to have minor surgery on my knee. Still, my medical bills are about $28,000. That's so much money. Her brother-in-law is a real estate lawyer, and he said that we have a conflict of interest and that we have to hire separate lawyers because I have to sue my girlfriend. Is that true? Do I have to sue her even though she didn't do anything wrong? What?
Yeah, no. So
what's going on?
This happens all the time because I do quite a bit of like car accident injury cases in my office. And so it's very often the case somebody will call me and they'll be like, I was in the car driving and my friend was in the passenger seat. We both got hurt. So here's the way it works. So let's say the case can't settle and we have to file a lawsuit and we have to go to trial, right?
Yeah.
The driver and owner of the car has insurance to cover losses that he or she, as the driver, causes, right?
Right.
So if our driver, whether you think they're negligent, let's say you're the passenger and I'm the driver.
Cool.
You and I both agree I didn't do anything wrong.
No.
But what happens if we go to trial? You don't sue me, and the lawyer for the other driver who caused the crash gets the jury to say that I was 10% at fault and his guy was 90% at fault. Right? So now my insurance isn't in the case to defend us, and that means my insurance company, my insurance money arguably is off the table.
Ugh.
Right?
That's
so
tricky.
You can see it gets a little complicated. So it's conceivable that like the normal way it would work if there's two drivers and one driver's 90% at fault, one driver's 10% at fault. That means 90% of the damages is paid by the driver who's 90% at fault. 10% is paid by the driver who's 10% at fault.
Right.
In theory, right?
Yeah.
But if you only sue the driver who's 90% at fault, then your recovery conceivably could be limited to 90% of whatever. So if the jury says your case is worth $100,000, that means you're collecting 90.
Yeah.
Now, that's not true in all cases. There are situations where there's a law called the Contribution Act, which says that if any defendant is more than 25% liable, they can be held for the full loss.
Oh.
Okay?
Huh.
It gets way too technical for me to break it down. But so that's what I'm saying. It's not necessarily going to work out that way, but it could. And here's the thing. Let's say you have the jury awards you $100,000 worth of damages, right? You're very severely injured. $100,000.
Yes.
We only sue the other guy. His policy is a $50,000 policy. The most you can collect from his insurance is $50,000. So even though, and let's say my policy's 50. 50 plus 50 is 100. Had you sued both of us, you can collect the full 100 in theory. If you just sue one, your recovery might be limited, right? So what I'm saying is your real estate brother-in-law, your real estate lawyer brother-in-law has some understanding of this, okay? But and actually there's a split of opinion on this. So I know some lawyers who say one lawyer can never represent the driver and a passenger of a car. Never can do it because of these things we're talking about.
Right.
There is going to be a conflict or a potential conflict.
Sure.
What I do, because usually if one person in the same car calls me and they want me to represent them in their car crash, it usually means that they like me, they really want me to represent them. I ask some more questions. I find out what the insurance limits are, the this.
Yeah.
And then I explain it to them and I have them sign a waiver. And the waiver says, much like what we're talking about, it says, look, I understand there could be an issue, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then if it turns out that there's going to be an issue or there might be an issue or the clients don't want to sign the waiver, then I recommend a lawyer to them or to one of them.
Right.
And they have representation and we have technically separate representation.
Oh, that's smart.
So my point is, like, so many of this stuff, like, honestly, I analyze these things as simply as I can, and I try to explain them as simply as I can. But when I tell folks on this podcast or privately that the details of these cases really make a huge difference, they really do. I mean, just from what we've talked about here, you can see that sometimes it's not so clear or so simple. It's sometimes quite complicated.
Oh, God, yeah.
So my point is, talk to a lawyer. Lawyers, look, injury lawyers give free consultations. Some of them might tell you they can't represent both. A lot of the lawyers I know will represent both under the right circumstances. I'll do it under the right circumstances, but it requires knowledge and investigation and letting both clients know 100% what's going on, right?
Right.
So that's all I have to say about that, Amelia.
Sounds like they need to call you.
That would be good.
Who you gonna call? Scott DeSalvo.
That is the worst Ghostbusters cover I have ever heard in my life. I'm sorry, Amelia.
Stop.
Amelia's fake crying. She's like she's doing the one finger under her eyeball, wiping away the tears that don't exist, which is like the oldest girl trick ever. I love watching a video of a woman or a girl fake crying where she's like pretending to wipe away tears and her eyes are bone dry. And you just know she's fake crying.
I have done that before.
Let me guess, you were
something.
Yes, you were in trouble with your parents and you fake cried.
No, that doesn't work. They said when I was 3, they caught me in the mirror one time alone.
Practicing?
I was literally practicing how to fake cry, and they're like,
"Oh my God,
here we go." No, but I was.
They knew they were in for it at that point.
They did. They were like, "Here we go." No, but I had a ticket that I lost in the. I was at the Greyhound, wonderful Greyhound, and they were like, sorry, we can't reprint your ticket. I'm like, but I have it on my phone. They're like, no, you need to have a physical ticket. So I just started fake crying, and the guy was like, stop, fine. And he just gave me another one, and I was like, and that's how it's done.
Men, I feel like other women are pretty immune
to
female tears, but men are suckers.
Oh, and this guy was a dad, so he's like, I'm going home and see my parents. And he was like,
I feel like if you're a dad or a grandpa, especially,
he knew.
You're just like okay, honey, I'll help you.
I was like, I just need to go home, and I was just like, thanks.
I'm not sure if this conversation is sexist or not, but I'm going to end the podcast now. Thanks for listening, folks.
All right, goodbye.
Thanks for listening. I truly hope that the information in the podcast helps you no matter the situation you find yourself in. But you might need more answers or some more direct help. So there are 3 ways for you easily to find out more and to get help. If you call my toll-free 24-hour helpline, 888-HURT-318, you'll have a couple of options. 888-HURT-318 is my toll-free 24-hour telephone line. You can call that number and speak with my team night or day. First, you can call 888-HURT-318, and you can speak to me for a free consultation about your case or situation. That's always free and no obligation. Second, you can tell the operator that you'd like a free copy of my injury DVD and book. I created the DVD and book, and I give it away for free to injured people who need answers, but who might not be ready to talk to a lawyer yet. Same deal, 100% free, 100% no obligation. Third and finally, you can check out my YouTube channel for informative videos about the injury case and claims process, or check out my other podcasts for more information and interesting interviews with people who know different things about various aspects of the law. I've put all of this together to help you and to answer your questions. Now, you can also help me, and I hope that you will. If you enjoyed the podcast and if it helped you at all, please subscribe, and if you can, take a minute and please post a positive review of the show. If you're listening to the podcast on YouTube, like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you know anyone who might enjoy the podcast, please spread the word and share it on Facebook. It's my mission to spread good information to as many people as possible, and your liking and reviewing and subscribing to the podcast helps me get the word out. Thanks again. This podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. It doesn't substitute for consulting with a lawyer. If you have a case, speak with a lawyer right away.